What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Comic Cave. On today's episode, we will be What's up, everyone? On today's episode, we will be discussing growing up. Were you a Disney kid? Sorry. What's going on, everyone? On today's episode, we will be discussing growing up. Were you a Muppets kid or a Sesame Street kid? Also, were you a Disney kid or a WB kid? WB kid. WB kids kid. Right?
That's
WB kids.
We don't need to redo this.
Yeah, we do.
Just
one more time. What's up, everyone? On today's episode, we will be discussing growing up. Were you a Muppets kid or a Sesame Street kid? What's up, everyone? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Comic Cave. On today's show, we will be discussing growing up. Were you a Muppets kid or a Sesame Street kid? Sesame Street's kid.
Sesame Street.
Today on the episode.
You're overthinking this, bro.
No, because I'm slurring. What's up, everyone? On today's episode, we will be discussing growing up. Were you a Muppets kid? Muppets kid? Growing up, were you a Muppets kid or a Sesame Street kid? On today's episode, coming up next on Comic Cave. What's up, everyone? On today's episode, we will be discussing growing up. Were you a Muppets kid or a Sesame Street kid? Coming up next on Comic Cave Podcast. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Comic Cave. My name is Chris, here with my hetero life mate, Mr.
Russ.
I hope you guys are strapped in for this week's episode, because today we have a great topic for you guys. Growing up, Russell, were you a Muppets kid or a Sesame Street kid? Or did you watch WB Kids? Or were you also like a Disney kid? What were you, Russell?
Honestly, man, I was more into, well, not more into, I grew up more with Sesame Street. I got Muppets because I have siblings that are older than me. Mm-hmm. But I was definitely way more Sesame Street. I don't know where Barney fits into all this.
That's PBS Kids.
That's PBS Kids.
I guess Sesame Street is also PBS too.
Yeah. So
for viewers like you.
I was way more PBS then at that point. And then Kids WB versus Disney. Kids WB.
Kids WB?
That's where I got my DC introduction.
Right.
That's why I fell into that.
Superman Adventures. But that was on WB Kids, right?
More Batman.
More Batman.
Batman the animated series.
So me personally, I was more of a Muppets kid. I mean, I grew up watching the Muppet movies, the Muppet Show, Muppet Babies.
Don't get me wrong, I love the Muppets.
Yeah,
I personally got into it a little bit later. Like, I don't know if you remember Kermit Swamp Ears.
Of course.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that got me into it.
Okay, so I watched that. I watched Muppet Babies was a huge influence on me. I mean, I saw all the Muppet Baby episodes. That was on, I want to say Nickelodeon when I was a kid. I think it was Nickelodeon. Because I wasn't growing up, the Disney Channel was separate. So I didn't have Disney Channel, so I had to watch whatever's on basic TV.
I didn't have cable, yeah. So
I don't know how he lived. I mean, I had cable.
Saturday morning cartoons and after school.
Like everyone remembers. Let's have a moment of silence for the Saturday morning cartoon. We miss you, Saturday morning cartoon.
Deeply.
We wish you'd come back. I mean, I guess the final nail in the coffin was the CW Kids, and then that was like way later.
But I don't know why that was a nail in the coffin. They had hits.
They did. Who was the hits?
Static. My boy Static.
No, that was still WB Kids.
Static Shock.
That was still WB Kids.
Oh, you're right.
CW Kids is whenever CW.
Okay. And I forgot about CW. I thought you were saying WB Kids.
But I mean, growing up,
Never mind. Yeah, that was a flop.
I recognized the Sesame Street. I mean, I saw Big Bird, Snuffleupagus, Bert and Ernie. You're screaming again, Bert.
So did Kermit and them? They had TV shows.
Yeah. What do you mean TV shows?
Just TV show.
Yeah, they had
Sesame Street had the whole TV show, and then they had movies as well. I only know the Muppets more from the movies.
They had the Muppet Show, the Muppet movies, and the Muppet Babies.
This might be getting a little bit ahead, but did you ever see the ABC Muppets TV show that came
Yeah, of
out?
course.
The more recent one.
Yeah.
That they unfortunately canceled. That show was hilarious.
They didn't cancel because if you have HBO Max, it's on HBO
there,
Max.
but it's it's on Disney.
Is it on? Yes, it is on Disney.
It's on.
Yeah,
Disney.
it's on Disney.
But no, it's only one season.
Is it? Well, yeah, but it's newer episodes. I don't know. I watched them.
That show
I liked
was hilarious. It was like 30 Rock mixed with the Muppets.
The Office. He doesn't watch The Office.
Not into
He was
The Office. No.
But yeah,
30 Rock is good though.
30 Rock is good. But I grew up watching more Kermit the Frog, Muppet Miss Piggy, Gonzo, and everything. But like Sesame Street.
Gonzo's a character. I like
He's
Gonzo.
an alien.
Gonzo's my favorite. His wife is a chicken.
Well, he loves chickens. Like he's
I
infatuated.
thought his wife was the chicken.
He loves chickens. He's I don't know. He's got some kind of weird crush on chickens.
So what was your first introduction into Muppets then?
Muppets. I too have older brothers and sisters, and the Muppet movies.
Which movie got you into it? That's what I'm saying. What was the oldest movie you remember watching?
The Muppet movie, which came out like in the 70s.
I do remember the Muppet movie, but the
And then there was Muppets in Manhattan, and there was Muppets.
The pirate one was actually the first one.
Muppet Treasure Island. So Muppet Treasure Island. That is what got me into the Muppets hardcore because I was laughing so hard. That movie
was hilarious. That movie was
hilarious.
It
was. How does she know? Like, it was crazy. It was hilarious. Yes, Muppet Treasure Island. Also, Tim Curry. That was my first introduction into Tim Curry. A lot of kids, I didn't know he was the It Clown. I didn't know that as a kid. I didn't know at the time that, oh, Tim Curry is the It Clown. I didn't know that because I saw it as a kid.
I did too. Well,
but I didn't know it was Tim Curry. Tim Curry. Obviously, he's a great guy. He has a vast movie collection. Rocky Horror Picture Show. I like that show.
Really?
I like Rocky Horror.
That's not my thing.
Meatloaf.
I was kind of traumatized. I saw that live.
Well, I mean, yeah. Oh, you saw that live?
Like, where they do the reenactment with the movie.
I never went to one of those. I've always wanted to go to one of those.
They do it at, I'll have to show you sometime.
I want to go. Let's go. Let's go dress up, too. I heard they dress up. I'll be Meatloaf. You could be Dr. Frankenfurter.
I'll be nobody.
He was Dr. Frankenfurter. He wants to
go on your own.
Fishnets. You don't want to go to that?
I went already.
No, but like dressed up.
That was my introduction to it.
You didn't have fun? I would have fun. I would.
You ever had dudes dancing on you that you couldn't tell if it was a dude or not?
Oh, they could touch you? I mean, I don't know. I thought it was just people that were...
If this is something you want to experience, by all means.
You know what? Comma Cave, I'm comfortable with my...
I'm comfortable with my sexuality, but I was also 15 with a girlfriend at the time and had dudes dancing on me.
Okay.
Definitely ruined the experience for me.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was 15. That is a whoa. No, yeah. What did you tell your girlfriend at the time? What the hell did you bring me to?
I was mad. I mean, but like she's super into it, supportive, whatever. I brought another friend with me, and he got even more traumatized than I did.
I would too. I would be totally traumatized. If I was 15.
They were singing along and dancing, and if you don't dance along, we get hella sidetracked. But if you didn't dance along with it, then they would point you out in the crowd and do some wild stuff to you. You had to do the whole electric slide.
I would do the time warp.
That thing. Yeah, no.
We should go. Like I said, I'll be Meatloaf. You be Dr. Frankenfurter.
But Sesame Street and Kermit.
Yeah, right. Sesame Street and Kermit. Do you think they'll do a Muppets Rocky Horror Picture Show? That'd be great.
I was kind of just thinking about that.
Fuzzy Bear would be Dr. Frankenfurter.
They would do that. I really do.
That'd be funny as hell. I would totally be down for that. But yeah, no. I don't know.
Kermit would be the other dude. The
Dr. Kramit, the frog.
No, he would be the main dude that goes in with the girl.
Oh, Brad. Oh, Brad.
He would be Brad.
But, so enlighten me more on Sesame Street because I only remember...
Man, it's changed so much over the years.
I know Elmo's a thing.
Man, no.
When I was a kid, Elmo wasn't a thing.
Really?
Elmo...
So, did you have Bert and Ernie?
I had Bert and Ernie. I had... What's the blue one called?
The Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster. And then
you had the Grouch.
Blue one. The blue I forget his name.
Did you have the Grouch, though?
The Oscar the Grouch, yeah.
Oscar the Grouch.
The cat,
Oscar
trash
the Grouch.
can man.
Did you have the Count?
Count
Dracula.
Count Dracula. He was Count.
Yeah.
The Count, because he would count 3, 4, 5.
Ha ha.
And then there was also Sesame Street books. I can't remember if there were Sesame Street video games.
I don't know about video games, but they had movies. Like
there were Muppet games.
Big Bird.
Word to Big Bird.
He had this one about an egg, like a magic egg or something like that. I vaguely remember that. That was like one of their first movies that came out.
Was Big... Okay, so maybe you can...
And then they had one where Big Bird was trying to find his parents or something like that. I vaguely remember these movies. It's been a very long time. Elmo, I think, has had the most movies at this point.
Tickle Me Elmo. I remember that. That was a huge, phenomenon. Weird. Everyone wanted... I didn't ever want it, but I had nephews who were younger. They all wanted to tickle me Elmo.
No,
Let me fondle you, Elmo, so you can laugh. That was crazy, dude. No, seriously.
Tickle Me Elmo was creepy, in my opinion.
Did you want one?
No, I wasn't that old.
Would you say Tickle Me Elmo was a Teddy Ruxpin?
The weirdest toy that I remember wanting that was kind of like that was kind of creepy was the Furby.
I remember Furbies.
Yeah.
They were also... Furbies and... tiny thingies. What do they call those? Little tiny. They sold them at McDonald's for Happy Meals. Tiny thingies.
I don't know. All I remember wanting from McDonald's.
Comment down below.
Burger King,
I know you know what I'm talking about. Tiny little things.
Segue conversation. What I remember getting from like Burger King, McDonald's, and all that stuff was either like the Dragon Ball figures or the Pokemon little gold
Pokemon
things with the little gold cards. But they were
that's when the movie first came out.
Man, that was awesome.
Pokemon, the first movie. I remember my parents called it Pokemon.
Yeah.
I was like, they're Pokemon. You're not cool.
My cousins called it Pokemon. I didn't care. Pokemon was like Pokemon.
Pokemon
was one of my first introductions to anime.
I was all into Pokemon.
Right.
No, yeah, Sesame Street. So enlighten me more on Sesame. Was Big Bird female or male? In this day and age, I don't think it matters. But
I always assumed he was a male.
Right. I mean, you would think.
He sounds like a man.
Okay. Because you said he was late.
Did you have Snuffleupagus?
The big elephant.
The elephant.
Yeah, I would be called him as a kid.
Wow.
But no, yeah, the Big Bird, because you said he would lay an egg. That's so chicken.
No, I didn't say he laid an egg.
He was trying to find an egg.
He was trying to find a magic egg.
Oh.
It was different. That was the story. I don't necessarily remember the whole plot to that.
I think Big Bird, he was a canary, right?
He was a big bird. I think Big Bird's his own bird. He's a big yellow bird.
My favorite.
You thinking too much into this, bro.
No, I mean.
Kermit's a frog. Big Bird's a bird. That's it.
What is Gonzo? An alien.
Yeah, he's an alien.
Dude,
right.
you know, it's crazy. Never in a million years. You know, we grew up in a really weird time, you and I. We had plumbers that would stomp on turtles and kill Goombas, and then we had a frog fucking a pig. Like, we grew up in a very weird time.
Do you think that has anything to say about why we're in the times that we're in now, and everybody needs free love, and I'm not gonna say free love, but
it could
we need to
go
be more
to it.
accepting.
But whenever, because I never, as a kid, I knew, like, why does a frog love a pig? And why does Gonzo love chickens?
He's got a type. If you've seen the ABC show,
man, that dude's got a type. But no, yeah, and then you had the birdie, the chef. The chef cracked me up.
Oh yeah, and the hecklers.
Yes, and those are the hecklers. Yeah, the old hecklers. See, that's why I love the Muppets more, because Sesame Street didn't. They were more about learning.
Exactly, they were on PBS.
Right.
Public Broadcasting Service. Public for kids.
I mean, but they were more about learning and ABC's colors and making kids aware. Yeah,
there was a lesson, but that they were more. They've been a TV show, and it took a long time before they even got the movies. I mean, to be perfectly honest, my first knowledge of the Muppets is through movies, not through the TV show.
I'm surprised because you two had older siblings as me, and I'm surprised that.
Older than you.
Yeah. Right. I'm surprised they didn't expose you to the Muppet movie, because those have been around since the 70s, I think, and Sesame Street too.
They probably did. I just don't remember too much. The first one I remember watching is that pirate one, but I do have a sister who she is the one that showed me the original Muppet movie for the first time. I do remember her showing it to me.
Man, I've always wanted that Fozzie Bear Studebaker. I've always wanted Fozzie Bear Studebaker. If I can somehow, and also. That Studebaker also was owned by Stanley Ipkiss. I don't think you know who that is. But that Studebaker was owned by Stanley Ipkiss and Fuzzy Bear. That was a pretty cool Studebaker. I wanted that brown Studebaker. Bring him the loner. But yeah, so I guess I liked the Muppets because it was more jokes, even though I was a kid.
I think as an adult, I would like them more, for sure. But yeah, it's not what I grew up on.
And then you had Muppet Babies. Which
I don't even remember that at all. The closest thing I remember to that is Swamp Ears.
Yeah, no, Muppet Babies. Like, Jim Henson, George Lucas, and Steven Spielberg, they were, like, super tight. Like, because, as you know, Jim Henson did Yoda, the puppet. Mm-hmm. So that was a Jim Henson creation. So, like, Jim Henson and George Lucas. And
they made a lot of stuff. Not just for Star Wars, yeah.
They did Fraggle Rock. I remember Fraggle Rock. They did, what was that, the show you mentioned earlier with the kid,
the James and the Giant Peach?
No, with the dog, with the dragon. It's not a dog. I thought.
Neverending Story.
Neverending Story, and then they did
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth with David Bowie's cock.
I never liked Labyrinth.
Really?
Bro, I've never been into that movie. I was never into the Neverending Story either. Never into it.
Me neither.
Never ending.
No, I never got it.
I'm glad it.
I got it, but I wasn't into it.
No. Labyrinth was creepy.
Jim Henson also did. You can correct me on this. I think he also did a few Muppet puppets for Sesame Street. I'm not too sure.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And then I'm gonna talk about things you don't know. Then you had Eureka's Castle growing up. Did you know about Eureka's Castle?
No.
Yeah, Eureka's Castle was there. You had a bunch of stuff, a bunch of Muppets for our time. Now you have CGI cartoons and everything like that. But going back to
3D animation.
3D animation. So WB Kids or a Disney kid?
So I definitely grew up on WB Kids.
Okay.
That was the free after school and Saturday mornings.
I had to go over and watch the WB Kids. I mean, sorry, no, the WB
Disney.
Kids.
I did get some stuff of Disney stuff, but that was more from like Fox and like Spider-Man.
Well, they were
X-Men.
Fox first, Fox Kids, and then Fox Kids kind of went down, I think. Then it went over to WB Kids. That's where you had Batman Beyond and everything like that.
Yeah, that's right. So this is also before Marvel was even like with Disney, long time ago.
Way long ago, yeah, way. It was like as if we were kids and we can go back in time and be like, hey, they're gonna be like together.
One day.
They're gonna be together one day. You're gonna see Iron Man and Darth Vader at the Disney World theme park that we go to every summer. You're gonna see
wild
that.
to think about.
And when I'm gonna be a kid, I'll be like, first off, who are you and how do we get so fat?
So what was your favorite show? And you
Between
said,
what?
You said you was a WB?
I was a WB Kids.
So
I never watched Tailspin. What was that?
I got to see some of that stuff from going over to friends, and I was into not just Tailspin, but a lot of those shows like
DuckTales.
Ooh. That's what I was about to say. DuckTales and like Scrooge McDuck.
Scrooge McDuck, yeah. And then you had the Aladdin show. You had.
Oh man, I forgot about the Aladdin show.
Yeah, all those. What was another show that it was another cartoon? It was Aladdin, and there was another cartoon that was out at the time that came out, and I can't remember what it is. Hercules. You had Hercules. You had Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Don't remember Hercules show.
Yeah, there was a Hercules cartoon, Hunchback of Notre Dame. All those spin-off shows from the cartoons because Disney was like, they were our best selling. And I think there was a Timon and Pumbaa show.
That wouldn't surprise me.
There was a Timon and Pumbaa show that came on, and I never saw the Disney shows. I was more like WB.
Yeah, I missed a lot
watching
of that.
Batman. I was more watching into the Batman series, Superman, the Adventures of Superman.
Is the only one that I really remember from that.
Gargoyles, yeah, we mentioned that on a few podcasts ago.
I gave you guys a little bit of a rundown on that. I'll link that into this episode. Small rundown on Gargoyles. But no, what was Street Sharks on?
Street Sharks, that was UPN.
So that's a whole separate thing.
Yeah, I think that was UPN.
So that's like Captain Planet.
Right, and they also had like the Sonic show, Sonic Underground.
Oh yeah.
Sonic where he let me have a chili dog.
So I guess that was like the second thing that I grew up on over Disney too.
Sonic.
Not just Sonic, but UPN.
And then on Family Kids, you have the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, which
I never got into that show. That was your deal, though.
It was my deal, and I would watch it. My dad would be at home, and my dad would watch like Perry Mason and Medlock and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And I'd wait for my dad. I'd hey Dad, you want some tea? And I'd put some night juice in there. Hey Dad, drink it so I can watch Super Mario Brothers Super Show, and he goes to sleep while I watch because he would like Medlock and stuff like that. But you had all those shows. That was another show. If you had cable, you could watch that show. Mm-hmm. But Russell never had cable.
No. Well, my dad had satellite for.
Satellite.
But my parents are divorced, so I only got to see my dad during the summers.
That's deeper than I want to go.
Christmas. No, I'm just saying that was the only time that I would get to watch that stuff. That's what I mean. It's just off times. I would get reruns of stuff. Really.
So. You're almost in your 30s. I'm in my 30s. What is the one lesson that they told you as a kid from those shows, whatever show? What is the one lesson that you brought back to your adulthood, and you'd be like, you know what, that's good advice?
Honestly, probably acceptance. Every single show was about making friends and going on this life journey together, and that probably is a big part of who I am now. To be honest, now that you make me kind of think about it, literally everything. Pokemon is
Pokemon.
And that's early. Digimon is that was early for me. Static Shock.
Acceptance.
That was all acceptance.
So that was all and also X-Men Evolution. That was the biggest thing, accepting who you are.
Oh yeah, but even X-Men the original series, I mean, it was a little bit more.
There was a few more dynamics to that.
Yeah, I don't want to just say adult content, but that and the Spider-Man, but that and the Batman, the animated series, those were like my favorite shows growing up for sure.
Did you ever, while watching Batman as a kid, did you understand
everything?
The individual villains? Like, did you ever think to yourself, why did Two-Face have a Two-Face? Or why did this guy have a question mark
I never questioned it.
Why does this guy look like a clown? Or why does the guy Clayface?
No, I never questioned it.
Okay.
You questioned it?
I never questioned it, but I did question like Clayface. Like, who the hell is a? It looks like a walking piece of poo.
To me, it was I like their toys. Honestly, I can't even tell you what it was about Batman that I loved for so long. Like that was literally my first
Justice
love. As long as I can remember, literally like younger than 4 years old, I was in.
That's
Batman.
one topic that I would like to go in with you because I for the longest time I've always wanted to know what is the fascination with our generation. I can't talk for this generation, but the fascination
It's
with
changed for sure. It's now Deadpool.
right, but like, where did we as kids? Hey, those are 4 teenage talking turtles who love pizza. We can identify with that. Like, where did that come from?
Well, they
Like,
made
why
it
did we see that as cool? Like, why did we think like, hey, that's
because they had cool gadgets. They were still teenagers. They were into pizza. They said cool phrases. They fought crime.
they fought karate.
Because
Three
it didn't
Ninjas.
matter. It didn't have to be Ninja Turtles. It's that or Power Rangers. Like,
That's true.
It was just it was what we related to closer at the time. It's kids.
I'll
going to
always
save the
remember
day.
Rocky loves Emily. But I just never understood the fascination, or like, yeah, 2 plumbers from Brooklyn go to the Dino Hatton or the Mushroom
See, that
Kingdom.
one's you. I don't know why you was into that.
I mean, it's Mario
I mean, yeah, I get that, but I didn't.
or Zelda. Like,
You
I've always
also got to
wanted-
remember, I was a Sonic kid, so I did like the Sonic show.
You were my enemy.
Sega.
You're my enemy. Like, so if you had Sega in your household, you were
No,
beneath me.
bro. No, Sega was my
You're
system,
beneath me.
bro. I didn't get one until the Dreamcast, but I would always be able to go over to my friend's house
Sega
and have the
Dreamcast.
Sega or N64, and I swear I'd pick a Sega game over the N64
Ugh.
game every time.
You would.
I would.
You would.
I remember. Do you remember the X-Men games on that?
Which one?
There was an X-Men game. I would always play as Gambit. They had a dope freaking Batman game on there. Where you could
They
play
had
Batman
X-Men
or
games
Robin.
on Super Nintendo.
It was not as
X-Men
good.
Mutant Apocalypse?
Bro, it was not. And then like the Sega game also had some weird shooter game that's kind of like Time Crisis, but you were shooting aliens and
Terminator.
It wasn't Terminator. I don't
It was
remember.
all Terminator.
But you also wanted to shoot
Dude.
like these little CDs, and that got these gold CDs and these silver CDs got you points or whatever. But yeah, no,
The Blues Brother game? He doesn't know nothing about that, but I know what he's talking about.
that's not a Blues Brothers game.
But no, okay, so that is the one lesson, acceptance that that you got from the shows as a kid. Barney, I love you, you love me. Let's get together and family. I don't know.
Well, no, that's a good other.
But yeah, so acceptance is like a golden rule that you got from those shows.
We are one happy family.
We are one happy family. And that's another thing. Like, what did I see in a purple dinosaur to make me think, hey, family?
Again, kindergartners. Imagination.
That is
and
true.
it wasn't just the purple dinosaur.
Kids
you had the
don't have
yellow one.
imagination these days. Have you ever seen what they built on Minecraft? Garbage.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, garbage. I don't think if there was one game that would expand.
Kids' attention spans are really small now.
I have that attention span now.
No, I asked. This is kind of side topic, but relates to it a little bit. I asked a couple of my nieces recently who are like 12 and like 7 or 8 or something like that. I said, "What type of music do you like?" They said TikTok music. It's not even a genre. Like, I love my nieces, don't get me wrong.
What's
but
TikTok music?
Just music that was put onto TikTok to go with the videos on TikTok.
Oh, so it's real
literally-
music. It's just
It's literally anything though. It's pop. It's whatever kids are gonna be.
hit or miss. I guess they
It's-
never miss, huh? That's
so-
that show. That's that.
And TV shows are very much the same waveform now. I mean, they just want to watch YouTube clips and a lot of that stuff now, just short. I wonder what this conversation is going to be in the future. Were you a YouTube kid or a TikTok kid?
Wow. I'm gonna be like, I was neither. I
don't even know how to respond to that.
I played board games, and video games. You know, our generation will be the first generation that whenever we're in retirement homes, they'll have video games in there.
That'll be dope.
Like, come on, Fred, let's go play. I'll beat your score on Mario.
Bro, I got you on the Sega Sonic.
I could not. There was only one. I don't think I've ever owned a Sega system.
Not a single one?
Yeah, I wasn't poor. Anyway, so the one thing that I could get, I guess the one is not acceptance, but caring.
The Sega Dreamcast was expensive. Not to go back on that topic, but yeah. It was more expensive than the Super Nintendo.
I mean, we had 64 when that came out.
It was more expensive than the 64.
It was only expensive because you could hook up to the internet. But
It was ahead of its time.
I just want to say this.
It's a whole other topic.
I just want to say this now. Who's still around? Sega, they make software, but Nintendo's still in the game.
That's because they released a too expensive system at the wrong time, and there's a whole. All right, we can talk about that another time. But yes, there's reasons as to why Sega went under.
On the next episode of Comic Cave Podcast, Nintendo systems. Who did you grow up with?
Sega versus Nintendo.
That's been done. That's tied.
But what happened?
Sega just sucks at marketing, that's all.
No, that's not what it was. See, you don't even know. Let me school you.
Okay. But I guess, wrapping up this topic, the last thing that I got me was caring for one another. You got acceptance, I got caring for one another.
Care Bears. That's,
I didn't grow up with Care Bears, even though Care Bears was my generation. I didn't grow up with Care Bears.
What were they on? I feel like they were still like Fox or something. Like
USA Kids, USA Network with the train network with the Ghostbusters, Real Ghostbusters. I grew up with Real Ghostbusters.
I forgot about all that.
Yeah.
And the Godzilla.
Gojira and Godzuki. Gojira. But that was Hanna-Barbera. I grew up with Hanna-Barbera too, Flintstones, but we could do a whole other episode on that too.
On that one.
Wrapping up this Comic Cave podcast. So, yeah, you got acceptance, I got caring for one another. Hey, care for that person no matter what that person does to you.
Sounds like the same thing to me, to be honest.
Pretty much. I got the message across, but also whenever Pokemon came out, the message that I got was challenge everything and everyone, and take their goddamn Pokemon and take their badges too.
You don't take their Pokemon. What are you talking about?
On some cases, you took their Pokemon.
They traded.
They played for pinks. They
was,
play for pinks.
Team Rocket. No, they did. Only Team Rocket stole the Pokemon.
But
they would trade.
Comment down below. What did you guys? Were you guys a WB kids, Disney kids, DC kids? Were you Muppets or Sesame Street? Comment down below.
Something that we're missing.
Is there something that we're missing? Yeah. Fox Kids. Fox Kids was also Batman and stuff like that. Gargoyles and that all. But that all transitioned over to WB Kids. Mm-hmm. But yes, comment down below. Please follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Please, we're trying to up our numbers so you guys can send us to Comic-Con whenever we're back from the pandemic. We want to go to Comic-Con.
DC fandom.
Well, no one can go to DC fandom, but everyone can go to DC fandom. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris, here with my hetero life mate,
Russ.
Until next time, peace. Comic Cave Podcast, Audi 5.